All right, welcome back to another one of our film reviews. Today, we are breaking down rookie Steelers tight end Darnell Washington and his performance against the Cincinnati Bengals, where Darnell Washington literally destroyed the Cincinnati Bengals almost to a man. Got a great set of cut-ups in front of you today to highlight just that. As always, if you appreciate this content, give us a like, give us a comment with any feedback you might have. But without further ado, let's watch Washington destroy the entire state of Ohio. All right, first up, the Steelers are running a toss play. They're trying to get the running back on the outside and then get north and south wherever he can find a seam. They're going to take the slot tight end, in this case, lined up. He's going to kind of crack back block the linebacker right there. They're going to bring the backside tight end in motion right here, and he's going to lead along with Washington. He's right there. Here, let me clean up the picture for you a little bit. They're going to get out here in space, trying to get bodies on bodies. And basically the way it works is that Washington and the backside pulling tight end are responsible for 27 of the Bengals and 94 of the Bengals. Everyone else is just kind of working up the field, trying to cut people off all the way across the backside. The two key blocks are obviously to secure 27 and 94. Let's watch Washington on this one, folks. He ends up working 94, works right into him, and he absolutely buries him. Let's check out how it goes. All right, there's the motion. You can see the toss action right there. You can see 94 already. Let me back that up just a smidgen. You can see 94 attacking Washington right away. You almost kind of expect that because an edge defender like Hubbard is in this case, 94 for Cincinnati. He's taught that he can't get reached above all else, so it's not surprising he works outside in this situation. Here you can see the tight end pulling in motion across right here. He sees 94 flash outside. He does a great job, works up to 27. You can see the slot receiver tight end in this case. He was lined up as a slot receiver working inside. You can see the natural hole where it's supposed to develop. Let's go back to the very beginning and watch Washington take on number 94 Hubbard and bury him into the dirt with one arm. Folks, this is outstanding stuff. This is just pure unadulterated strength. That is awesome. And look how much it expands this hole right here. When he puts him to the ground, you can see, look how all this green grass just come out of space right here. Allows the running back to get north and south. When you have one great block on the perimeter like this, it makes a lot of okay blocks work out okay, right? Because you get a not great there. Broderick Jones is fine getting on his guy right there, but is not a dominant block by any means. 57 is able to come across and become part of the tackle. They're not able to get 55 in a great position. He's able to flow across right there. But I tell you what, folks, when you dominate an in-man on the line of scrimmage, an edge defender, especially one as good as Hubbard like he does right there, buries him into the dirt. I tell you what, that's awesome. This physical presence from Washington was dominant all four quarters against Cincinnati. Obviously, the running game was much better. Pickett had a nice game, but Washington's performance was a huge part of why the Steelers dominated the Bengals.
Yeah, Nick, I don't know if it was Matt Canada or what the deal was as far as Washington this season up to this point, but he had an absolute breakout game against the Bengals as far as his PFF grades go. Absolutely highest graded game of the season at the 76.5 grade, and he was absolutely ridiculous in the run blocking game, 74.3 in the run block game, highest grade of the season. So Washington really, really clicks in this new scheme or the new play calling that the Steelers are going, really plays to their strength, and he had an absolutely phenomenal game against the Bengals.
All right, this next play may be the most impressive play from the day for the entire Steelers offense. There's Washington right there. We're going the other way, of course. And this is just going to be big boy man-on-man football. We're going to get one-on-one here. We're going to get one-on-one here. We're going to get one-on-one here. We're going to get the left guard, little help on the nose tackle, work up to backside linebacker, one-on-one there. One-on-one there. We're going to get kind of a responsibility switch here. 83 is going to work up to the backside linebacker or potentially the safety, whoever's filling across this way. And Dan Moore is going to work to kick out the end man on the line of scrimmage. But as you can see, this is just man-on-man football across the board. Running back Najee Harris is going to work this direction, and he's just going to get his head down and try and pick up as many yards as he possibly can. Again, let's watch Washington. He's one-on-one right here with an inside defender. His job is, of course, to make sure this defender doesn't beat him across his face and blow up the play in the backfield. And if he can just hold that and prevent that, then his job is to get movement and blow this guy off the ball and keep his feet moving. Let's watch Washington once again dominate a helpless Bengals defender. All right, you can see the one-on-one blocks across the board. You can see everyone working up to the second level and needs to go up to second level. You can see everyone on the line of scrimmage is right there, hat on a hat, getting good movement. That's great stuff up front. You can see the natural hold develop for Najee Harris right there. But I want you to focus on Washington right here, folks. Great job getting his left foot in the ground, covering up his man right there. Because, again, this player, this defender, he's trying to constrict the hole and compress the hole by working inside. Washington does a great job preventing that, staying on him, squaring him up. And here's the best part, folks. Watch him keep driving. Keeps driving, and ends up burying his guy into the ground. You can see him on the pile right there. Look at Najee Harris. Oh, my goodness, folks. You talking about early 2000s, mid 2000s Steelers football, Jerome Bettis dominating people at the line of scrimmage in the AFC North in November. This is what you want. This is awesome, folks. This is what won you 2 Super Bowls, right? Outstanding across the board up front. I mean, just downhill physical, get a hat on a hat and keep driving, working harder than every other defender in this play. This is outstanding work across the board. Phenomenal job up front by the Steelers. Let's go to the wide copy. It looks even more impressive there. You can see everyone coming across, getting a hat on a hat. Look how everyone keeps their feet moving. No one's stopping. Look at Washington. Bury his guy to the ground. Najee Harris keeps working. I tell you what, this is great effort from Harris, but up front, led by Washington. If you don't have guys getting movement, you don't have guys fighting to the entire play, Najee Harris doesn't have a chance to turn this into the run that he does. Look at where Washington initially makes contact, right? Right around the 11-ish, 12-yard line. Look how it keeps moving him. Look how it keeps driving him. Keeps working. He finally buries him into the ground as he's trying to make the tackle at what? The 16, 17-yard line. That's 5 yards of vertical movement, and he's on the ground, along with the rest of the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line, driving people off the ball. Again, was it the most impressive at the snap? No. It was pretty good, I will admit. Getting good contact, hats on a hat. Very nice physical football. But the effort, the intensity is absolutely incredible. This play was awesome for the Steelers, awesome for Washington. Just a great day of physical Steelers football. It's a great thing to finally see this season.
Yeah, and I think this is a case of what you call 6'6", 270 pounds of man and muscle going up against a defensive line. They're just absolutely imposing their will, and that's what you get out of a guy like Washington. This is the real deal. He has been talked about ever since coming out of Georgia. They talk about his frame. They talk about how strong he was. This is a perfect example on this play of exactly what this guy brings to the table.
All right, sticking with the theme of big boy physical Steelers football, we're going to go here now in a goal line situation. There is Washington right there lined up in the tight end position. And this is a really well-designed, really well-executed play by the Steelers up front. We're going to get double teams here on the play side between left guard and tackle, working up to the linebacker. Everyone else is basically just man-on-man here, making sure we get no one cutting across anyone's face to get penetration on the backside. They're going to bring number 11 across the formation right here, and he's going to insert basically like he's a fullback, right? This is a new way of football you see these days. You've got wide receivers and tight ends line up in split formations. They come in motion and act as a fullback the way an old school fullback would in this position, line up and lead this way. They get rid of all that and just bring this guy in motion, and he ends up acting like a fullback at the point of attack. It's a really creative design you see more and more, and credit for the Steelers for filing using some really smart offensive play calling. But again, I want everyone to focus on Washington here because this is just old school, get a body on body. Initially, he's supposed to just seal him out, but I want to focus on his effort and his just big boy physical determination. Again, let's watch Washington annihilate another Bengals defender. You see 11 come in motion. Right, you can see him insert right there. You can see the double team action performing right there. You can see one-on-one everywhere else. You can see Washington kicking out the in-man on the line of scrimmage. This looks like a huge hole. Right there, the Bengals corner decides to fly and shoot inside to try and make a tackle. Credit Najee Harris for recognizing it. Watch what Harris does. Phenomenal job reading it. Bounces it, makes him miss. And right now, it's one-on-one on the edge. And let's watch Washington here. This is just old school power. I'm a grown man. I'm going to embarrass you football. Doesn't hold him. Let's go. That flag you see flying into the picture, that was not holding on Washington. He's got his hands inside. He's in a strong technical position. Absolutely buries and bullies an NFL linebacker. Folks, this is incredible stuff. I don't think there's another tight end in football that can do this, right? This is what you would see Gronk do with the Patriots for such a long time. Just get on a 240-pound linebacker right there, body him up, drive him off the football, stay on him, drive him upfield, and just humiliate him. Guys, this is unbelievable, unreal physical strength. You want to know why you can beat teams and actually be a real legitimate playoff team and a force on offense, Pittsburgh fans? Look, I know Pickens is great. Pickett at times looks really good. It's because you're bigger and stronger, though. That is your strength. And guys like Washington totally embody that. I mean, there's nothing really special about this technique-wise. He's playing high. His feet are too close together. I can complain about some technical stuff. But folks, he just buries other human beings who are supposedly really good at football, and he does it almost every play. This is a special player you got in the third round, and he can dominate games catching only one pass. Heck, he could dominate games where he doesn't catch any passes. Washington has very quickly become a massive playmaker for the Steelers offense.
And this is exactly why the Steelers picked up a guy like Washington. They know what he brings to the table, and they know exactly how to use him. You look at his blocking percentage numbers, Nick. This is a guy who has gone up consistently all year, starting the beginning of the year, 33% blocking plays. Now he's up to 62% of them, and he's used primarily in this run blocking attack. He's only had one pass blocking play this game, 22 run blocking plays. This is a guy that's on the field in run blocking situations. He knows how to bulldoze guys down, and the Steelers, they know how to use them as well.
All right, going with the sideline view, there is Washington right there at the top of your screen. Again, just another example of big boy football. So the Steelers are going to bring the tight end in motion here, and it's basically going to be similar scheme we saw earlier. Basically, the tight end right here lined up. I believe that's Freiermuth. You're going to see Hayward coming in motion. These two guys are going to secure these two in men on the line of scrimmage like we saw earlier. This time, Washington, his job is to work up to a linebacker. This is going to sound extremely familiar, folks. Let's watch Washington embarrass yet another Bengals defender. All right, Hayward comes in motion. You can see the toss and the outside run. You can see the two guys, Freiermuth and Hayward, getting the in-man on the line of scrimmage. You can see Washington very quickly work up to the next level. Watch him get on the linebacker. Look where this contact is made, folks. Right around what I would say the 27-yard line or so. Watch where it ends up. Right around the 21-yard line, completely blown up, completely out of the play. Let's freeze frame it right here. You notice something different about this? You notice all the other Bengals defenders that are getting blocked, right? They're all right around the line of scrimmage, plus or minus a yard or so, right? They see all in this big mush right here. There's one player that's 3-4 yards separated from everybody, and that's the guy Washington is blocking. This is what he does. He does it almost every play, folks. He gets on other people whose job it is, whose livelihood depends on them, whose literal mortgage payment depends on them not getting blown off the football. And Darnell Washington then blows him off the football. He does it all the time, folks. It is absolutely ridiculous. I have never seen a rookie tight end, maybe never seen a tight end ever, dominate a game as much as Washington has dominated the Cincinnati Bengals. It is absolutely incredible to watch.
Yeah, and this is a Steelers team, Nick, that has been very interesting in their use of Washington. This is a guy coming out of college. People talk about potentially maybe he could grow into an actual NFL tackle with his actual size. This is a guy in the last 2 weeks. He's been used in the right tackle position a couple of times. They tried him out there, and you can see here with his blocking prowess. This guy looks really physical. He almost is like having an extra offensive lineman on the field the way that he's blocking. I think the size, the strength, we can only see what happens with Washington down the stretch. But a lot of people were comping this guy to a tackle, but he also was able to catch some balls in college as well. This is just a very versatile player, and the Steelers got to love that they got him.
All right, folks, I just have to show you yet again another play. I'm almost getting tired showing you plays of Darnell Washington absolutely dominating Bengals defenders. So we're going to get a kind of cool play design here from the Steelers. We're going to get a man in motion running a speed sweep this way. It's going to force the Bengals to kind of shift down inside, reduce, and we're going to get the backside corner. He's out of the screen. He's going to walk up this way. And everyone from the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's going to be a wide zone to the offense's left or right. So what's going to happen is the left tackle is going to end up 91, the left guard is going to end up on 92, and everyone else is cutting off on the backside. And Washington's going to be one-on-one on the backside corner walked up. Now, folks, we've seen Washington dominate 240-pound linebackers who are designed to stop the run. How do we think a cornerback is going to fare? Well, let's check out how it goes. All right, there's the motion. You can see 21 walked up right there. Washington's got his eye on him right there. Watch what happens. Gets on him and meets the turf. Number 21, meet grass. Grass meet number 21. It's just like clockwork where he just gets on people. He's just stronger. Puts them in the ground. You alluded to it. It's almost like he's blocking like he's an all-pro tackle at the tight end position. And I know he's a defensive back and he's not going to be as great a run defender as some of the other guys. But guess what? We talked about it earlier today. We saw him put number 94, Hubbard, there on the other side of the line of scrimmage into the ground. We've seen him blow up linebackers. It's what he does. He just embarrasses Cincinnati Bengals defenders for a living. It's absolutely incredible to watch, folks. And I tell you what, Steelers fans, you got to be excited with what you have in Washington. His impact on the game is so incredible. Almost every major run the Steelers had was because Washington did something special. And even runs that didn't work out great, and this one is an example of it, Washington still delivered an impact block.
Yeah, Nick, and whether you're looking at George Pickens, whether you're looking at Broderick Jones, or whether you're looking at Darnell Washington, I think there's a trend with the Steelers lately of picking up these Georgia players, and we're seeing exactly how effective they are. I like all three of the young Georgia players on this team, and I think they add a lot of attitude, a lot of physical toughness, and I think they're really great pickups for this Steelers team.
All right, we've seen Washington absolutely dominate defensive linemen, linebackers, DBs, but he's not just a physical specimen. This guy's got really great technique, and this play is a great example of it. So the Steelers are running a really kind of old school power concept. They kind of got a unique feel to it. They've got motion coming across this way just to try and get anyone flowing, like a safety or corner flowing outside for the Bengals defense. But the real work is being done inside. So we're going to get the backside guard pulling around. We're going to get the tight end pulling around as well. This direction. We're going to get double teams right here, working up to the backside linebacker. We're going to get a block back there. We're going to get what's called an anchor down technique here from the backside tackle. And Darnell Washington's job right here, he has number 94 lined up just inside on his inside shoulder. He needs to wash 94 down inside as much as he can this way. But 94 doesn't want to. He wants to maintain gap integrity. He wants to kind of two-gap this. He wants to hold up this gap right here and potentially bounce outside for any cutback. This requires Washington to threaten 94's gap this way and then almost take his outside arm, take Washington's outside arm, and kind of swing 94 inside. It's an incredible technical effort by Washington. Let's check out how it goes. All right, you can see the snap. You can see the double team. You can see the guard pulling. You can see the tight end, number 83, coming around. Let's focus on Washington here, folks. So you see right here, he steps inside. You can see 94 right there. He's trying to two-gap it. He's trying to protect his inside gap, but also have the option to bounce back outside if needed. Watch what Washington does with his right arm on this one. It's incredible stuff. He takes his right arm, you can see, and he swings and buries 94 inside. That is incredible technique, folks. That's exactly how you have to do it. So right there, he threatened him inside. 94 is trying to play the two gap, and you can see Washington's right arm right outside the framework of 94, and he takes that right arm and basically uses it to throw Hubbard inside, two gaps inside. Look at the strength, too. Buries him in and then readjusts his hands to secure it. This is an awesome job right here by Washington. Phenomenal. This is A+ stuff. Look, the rest of the Steelers don't do a great job. They kind of get two guys on one at the point of attack. That's not ideal there, and they don't even do – yeah, they do a decent job there, create a pile, but 55 goes unblocked, so that kind of demolishes the whole play. But in terms of what you look at what Washington did, folks, this is incredible technical stuff. He's not just a physical beast like we've shown. He's got great technique as well, and that's just another element to his game. All right, sticking with the running game, this is another really cool design by the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's another power concept. Basically, you're going to get a double team action right here between the left guard and left tackle, working over to the backside linebacker. The center is going to block back. Broderick Jones, the right tackle, is going to anchor down on the backside. The backside guard is going to pull. We're going to get number 11, who came in motion. He was originally over here. He came in motion. He's going to lead and insert like he was the fullback. We're going to get a kick out block. Washington right there on Hendrickson, one-on-one against another great defender. And again, the whole point, let me clear this up a little bit here, is to create a seal here and to create a seal here and have Najee Harris go right inside right there, following his pulling guard. Let's check out how this play goes for the Steelers, and let's focus once again on Washington and his dominating performance. All right, so it's going to be a double team inside, but the defensive tackle flashes inside. So 65 works right up to the backside linebacker. Good job there. Awesome stuff. Number 11, inserting for the safety that's filling in the box. Good job. You can see the backside guard pulling around for the play side linebacker. Gets on him. Great stuff. Najee Harris falls him inside. Really nice run. I tell you what, though, one of the things, this is good blocking in front by the Steelers. Look at all these Bengals around the ball. You can see where everyone is. Now let's focus on Washington's guy here for a second. Darnell Washington, one-on-one. Look how far away Hendrickson is from the rest of the players. And I don't want to hear anything about, well, he's still got outside contain, he's securing the edge. Yeah, that's good right about here, right? Okay, you got outside contain. At this point, especially at this point, Hendrickson knows it's an inside run. But Washington is just mauling him so much, just physically imposing him. Look at that with one arm at the end of that. Look, this is taking look at this, folks. Hendrickson is literally throwing his entire body, leaning into Washington with all his strength. And Darnell Washington's got one arm and is engaging him at the point of attack 10 yards away from the play. This guy is just unreal strong. He's unreal powerful. And the important thing to understand Hendrickson in this situation, he wants to compress this hole. He doesn't want to just sit on the outside. He wants to force and drive the tight end inside to give less of a read for Najee Harris trying to read what's going on inside. But he gets blown up outside and then gets absolutely stonewalled to the point where Najee Harris doesn't even have to threaten. He gets a clear picture on this and immediately ducks up and inside. Great run by Najee Harris. But again, Washington just gets on people and just embarrasses them. I mean, Hendrickson's a good player. He's a great player as a Pro Bowler. And that Washington, one arm, totally stalemated at the point of attack, 10 yards away from the rest of the defense. Again, I know I've said it a million times, but I probably won't get tired of saying it. Washington is just a beast. He's an incredible football player. He's so young. He's got some things to improve on. There's no doubt about that. But I tell you what, Steelers fans, this may be the most impressive tight end. This may be the most impressive offensive player I've seen the entire season.
Yeah, Nick, and you talk about Hendrickson, you say he's good. He's actually the best player on the Bengals defense, one of the best players in the NFL at the edge position, 81.4 PFF grade, but he gets dominated in a few plays that he goes up against Washington, who I might add you is not a tackle, he's not a guard, he's not a center, he's a tight end. So one of the best edge players in the NFL, the best defensive player on the Bengals roster. Heck, he's probably even one of the best players on the entire Bengals roster, gets dominated by a tight end who is a rookie. So I really think this shows a lot of what you got here, Steelers. This guy looks very impressive, and he's doing a great job thus far.
All right, last play here. The Steelers are running a play we've seen a lot from Pittsburgh on this cut up. It's going to be a toss play to Najee Harris outside right here. We're going to get motion across, and we're going to get a lead action from the motion. The tight end, the second tight end, is going to lead that way as well. We're going to get one-on-one here from Washington. He's going to try and reach that way. Everyone else is trying to reach and cut people off this way. Becomes kind of a zone scheme for everyone else in the line of scrimmage. But again, I want to focus on Washington here and watch him just get on a body who's really good at football and drive him back and then bend him backwards, folks. This is a great play to end on because this play, along with pretty much every other play we've shown, just highlights what a dominant force this rookie has become. There's the motion. You can see the toss. Again, you can see bodies on bodies. Again, is Washington's technique perfect? No, right? He's kind of all over the place. I mean, it's not a solid base, but he's really high. His hands aren't coming with his feet as good as you'd like. But I tell you what, he gets on Hubbard right there. By the time he gets on, watch what he does. Keeps driving, and bends him backwards on top of the pile. Folks, this is 4 or 5 yards downfield. This is Hubbard, another really good defender, a veteran player. Look at this. Hubbard's on his knees getting bent over backwards while Darnell Washington is burying his face into the Cincinnati turf. I have not seen one human being cause as much damage to the state of Ohio since Desmond Howard. This guy is absolutely unbelievable. And again, it's not like he's a technical wizard. We've had some great technical plays. We saw the one with his hands earlier, but his feet are kind of out of whack. His pad level's too high, but he just gets on people and buries them into the dirt. He drives them out of the way. He is the most physically imposing tight end since Gronk, and in some ways, he may be even better than Gronk because it took Gronk a long time to figure out how to become a consistent run blocker. Washington's already there, folks. And I tell you what, Steelers fans, get used to seeing number 80 dominate AFC North rivals because what we're seeing from him, it's something he can carry week to week, season to season. This kid is incredibly impressive.